everybody, welcome to this reading that I'm going to do. The reading that I'm going to provide is a very significant reading about how it's going to go. Energies will change as they go along, it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to do a Celtic cross. Basically, this is going to be very interesting on how it goes. This is a very interesting reading on how everything is going to go from, left, right, and center, And when things go a different way, you have to look at them, right? Everything will be fine, but you need to understand. Provide about how everything is, you have to put things into perspective, right? And, whenever things can go a different way, you have to look at them from a different way, right? So this is a very interesting, promising way of knowing what to do. And whenever things can go a different way, you have to look at that, right? So in this reading, I'm going to tell you about how it is. This might be not a story to tell, but if it was, then you might be happy or sad, or it might be feeling emotional, whatever. But there was a time that there was something that was going on in through different emotions that were happening. And I'll tell you about a whole entire story. So, in one way or another, this is just how it seems to be. And knowing that this is just how it goes, because in one way or another, this is just the way it seems to be. So, understand about how it seems to be, and knowing that this is the way it is in one way or another. So, I'm going to put the cards in a different way, knowing that this is just how the reading goes, because in one way or another, this is just how it seems to be. This is the way it kind of is in one way or another, and you have to provide on how things are. You have to understand that. You have to acknowledge it. And this is what it seems to be. So let's get started. Alright, so in this very significant reading, we have the Chariot, we have the Knight of Water, we have the King of Water, we have the Queen of Earth, we have the Ten of Water, we have the Ten of Fire, and the Magician. So everything has to be all, accumulated of how it goes. So like the Chariot, the Archangel Metron is an important achievement, self-discipline, and willpower, public recognition, right? The Knight of Water is your wish comes true, concerns fade away, a love of life. The King of Water is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work, right? So you can think about that. So you'll be dealing with another Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. The Queen of Earth is the thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner, right? That's how it is. So you could be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. The Ten of Water is a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships, right? And then you have the Ten of Fire is too much work, accept help from others, life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns, right? So that could be one way. And the Magician, Archangel Raziel, is you are ready, you have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. In a way about how this is, it's the way of contributing about how this is, right? It's the way of considering your options. It's the way of knowing what to do. Because based on this, it's the way of knowing how it is one way or another, and you have to think about this as a wonderful way. So you think to yourself, okay, well, this is how it is. Well, let's think about it. Let's think about how this is going to be, because this is just a very interesting reading of how it's going to be and how is it going to be provided, because this is just a reading that is very significant on how everything is, right? It's how it is. So I'm going to clarify the Chariot to the Queen of Earth, to the Ten of Water, and the Magician. I'm going to clarify it. So this is like a diagonal. Okay, so from here, 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 here. It's like almost a diagonal, right? So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Wands. Then we have the Empress that's reversed. We have the Ace of Pentacles upright, and then we have the Ace of Wands is upright. So this could be like a new beginning. You'd be maybe going out to a restaurant, maybe you're not, but it all depends on how it is. The Empress card, I'm going to clarify that because I want to see it. Now, the Hangman is upright because there's restrictions. Yes, there are restrictions nowadays where, you know, you get to approval how it goes. You're beginning to realize of how it is. This is just the, you know, how it is. This is not a miracle on 34th Street. No, it's not. But in a way about how this goes, you have to believe on how it goes. You know, it's the way of knowing, but you have to believe it. In order to see things, you have to see this, right? This is the way of going, and whenever things go a different way, you have to look at them. So now we're going to look at the Knight of Water, the Queen of Earth, the Ten of Fire. So we're going to go this way, right? So this is the way of knowing, but it's the way of understanding about how it is, how it kind of regulates the situation. So let's see. So let's see, because I'm still going to clarify on what's going on. So we have the Emperor's upright because there's structure. You know, everything is you know, having structure. What's the Queen of Earth here? The Seven of Cups is upright. Okay, so you could be dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What's the Ten of Fire is? The Ten of Wands. Yeah, because you want everything that's happening, right? You feel like there's a lot of burdens are happening. You think that, oh well, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to say, right? And you know what I'm saying is that emotions are switching nowadays, where you know everything is all good, everything is all great, but then you think to yourself, oh, you know, this is the way it seems to be. This is the way of knowing about how everything is gonna go into that perspective way. Like there's no ifs, there's no buts. But there is ways of knowing what to do, right? Like, further say more than do is that I'm going to see this as the way it looks. And I'm going to clarify again. Because this is good clarifying. I need to clarify, you know, from the Eight of Wands to the Hangman to the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. I want to clarify that. So, Four of Swords is upright because there's recuperation, okay? Chariot is progress, okay? The Emperor reversed because there's no structure, right? So, you know that, right? Then you have the Lovers is upright for decisions. Yes, okay. So you could be doing that as well, because you know from this Emperor you have structure. This one over here you have no structure, right? So now I'm going to clarify that. Well, basically the Ten of Cups is telling me because there's no completion. No, something was incompleted. But then the Four of Cups is upright because there's a distraction. Yeah. See. There are things that you're trying to understand here where, you know, everything is almost like a life lesson, right? And there's a way of comforting about how it goes because you think to yourself, oh, how I can do this, how I can understand, right? Because you have to believe it. In order to do it, you have to understand of how it's going to be, right? This is not a right, wrong, you know, thing. Like it's not. So I'm still going to clarify. So this is almost like a story here, but it's really, I'm just telling you what's going on. So basically you have a distraction here. We're going to look at that up. But I'm going to clarify again. Because I need to clarify. So I'm going to clarify the Emperor, the Seven of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. So we have the Two of Wands is upright for there's planning, okay. The King of Cups reversed because there's no romance. Ten of Wands is upright because there's burdens. Okay, yeah. But then you have the Sun card is upright because there's positivity. Yeah, see, when you're in this phase of knowing, you have to believe this. Because you think, okay, this is a lovely picture. It is a lovely picture, but then you think, okay, who's doing this, right? Like who's becoming that distraction? Who's going to be that, right? Because it needs to be that, you know, the way of knowing what to do. It's like almost a selection of how things are, right? You have to believe on how your reflection is the way of knowing what to do, right? Because this is the way of knowing, right? And this is how it seems to be, because when you look at it, you think, okay, well, everything needs to be all great. It's the matter of knowing. It's the matter of time, right? Because there's the way of knowing what to do, right? You think to yourself, okay, well, what's going on? So now I'm going to clarify the middle here. I'm going to clarify this whole entire middle between the progress, the sun, the distraction, and the burdens. I'm going to clarify this because I want to see what's going on, okay? And so when I'm going to clarify it, I have to clarify. I don't want to, but I have to, okay? So let's see. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the middle card here. So we have the Four of Pentacles that's reversed. Okay, so, you know, you think that, okay, well, what's going on with that? Now, you think to yourself, well, this is not a good chance. This is not how it is. No, it's not. But then, it's like, this is what's going on. So let me clarify. Let's see. The Queen of Cups is upright. So there could be another Scorpio woman, as you know, it could be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer as the woman, right? And you know, she can be, you know, staying positive, having burdens, you know. There are times where it's the way of knowing about that. You think that this is the way it looks, this is the way it kind of proceeds with caution, right? And there are times where you're trying to figure out, you're trying to levitate on how things are, right? So I understand that. This is just a good reading so far. This is not a random reading. No, it's not. But this is just the way it goes. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify from the Four of Swords all the way down to the King of Water. I'm going to clarify that. To see what's going on in this whole entire reading here. So we have the Ace of Swords reversed, followed by the Page of Swords is upright. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles upright because there's a career. Ah, yeah, okay, I can see that. What's the opposite about that card, please? The King of Swords is upright. Okay? Alright. So I can understand that this whole entire reading does make sense in order to do that, right? This is the way of knowing, and this is the way of how you can do things on your own, right? Because you think positively. You think about there's decisions and there's, there's progress, there's, distraction, there's everything that you can think of, right? And this reading does make sense. So it does. Now you're going to think about why you put the King of Swords here, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. Well, look at this. Now you're going to have that there's a career that you're having. All right. Well, there's the way of knowing. So I'm going to, more clarify, just because I need to clarify. So let's see. I'm going to clarify the King of Swords. Queen of Swords is upright because there's independence, right? Page of Swords is upright because there's education, yeah? Ten of Pentacles upright because there's wealth. Yeah, see? Independence, education, wealth, right? You see all of that. You think, okay, I got this. Yes, you got it. So I can understand that this is just the way it seems to be. This is the way of how it kind of understands, right? This is like a beautiful reading after all, but it's the way of knowing what to do. So I'm going to still clarify. I'm going to clarify that from the Page of Swords all the way through to the Lover's card. So let's see. The world is upright is completion. The Six of Wands is reversed. Interesting. Queen of Wands reversed. And the Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, so I understand that, you already have a new beginning. You already know that. But this I don't understand. About having the Six of Wands reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Ace of Swords reversed. Because there's something that was happening in this situation. The Two of Wands is upright because you're planning on something. Okay. Three of Cups reversed. 10 of Cups reversed. Interesting. The Chariot is reversed because there's no progression. Three of Wands is upright because there's communication. Okay. Ace of Cups reversed. Followed by the Eight of Coins is upright. Yeah, see, you're thinking about how money is. Like, you think that there's a money exchange. Maybe you're going to exchange money. Because when you look at the education, the positivity, burdens, wealth, there are things that you're trying to understand, right? Because, you have to face it with your own abilities from understand that, right? Like, you have to think to yourself where, while you're playing on something, you have the world is completion. Everything is all completed. But then you get to realize, okay, well, what's the use? Why am I doing this? Why I need to consider the options, This is the way of how it looks. This is the way it kind of seems to be, right? Because you have to understand that. So let's see what's going on here. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the Queen of Swords and the Four of Cups. So I'm going to clarify with all of that. But I'm going to clarify. So yes, the five of Wands reversed because there's no chaos yet. The Knight of Wands reversed. See, the Emperor is reversed means that you have no structure, right? But then I'm going to clarify the Five of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Yes, see, look at that. The Three of Swords is upright because there's heartbreak. You're feeling like there is a bit of sad, And now this is between how, you're acting a positive and you have your education, you have wealth, you have burdens. But then, the Three of Swords come by and say, well, what's the use? And it's the way of knowing about what's going on. Like, I'm still going to clarify this Emperor, so I'm going to clarify that. Yes, the 5 coins is upright, right? Because you need money. You need that way of knowing that how I can do this, right? So you have the Fool reverse because there's no change. But then you have the 10 of Cups is upright because you want everything that happening. Yeah, see, this is like almost like a love story situation, whether it could be good or bad. But in one way, this is kind of like how it is. This is the way of how it's going to be affecting you. If you're affecting and, you're affecting all your emotions and you can't do this anymore. And, it's the way of knowing. Like, you're going to say to yourself, I can't do this anymore. It's the way of trying to understand where maybe you need to conclude of how your emotions are. Maybe you need to understand that. Maybe you're going to have, the way of how you feel, the way how you act, It's the way of knowing about what's going on and how you can, understand how it is, right? And I always say this, and I'm going to say it again, is seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. That's all you can do. But when you believe about how your emotions are, and they're all, connected, you have to understand that. Where if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling, unworthy, or, you have to remember that if you want everything to happen, you have to believe that. You have to remember of how it goes, Yes, there are times where we have to believe it and understand about how we can do things. And we put things into perspective, That's the way we can do it. That's the way of how we can do it. And this is the way it works. This is the way of how it's going to be, right? This is the way it seems to be. And in this reading, you have to understand that this is the way of knowing what to do. This is the way of educating yourself and how you can do it, how you can understand, how you can feel, how you act. It's the way of how you can do it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what the reading is telling you. Because in this reading, you have to pay attention to it. You have to remember that. Okay? We're almost done. So, this is the way of knowing about how this is. This is the way of, believe it or not, is where you can do things. Because you want everything to happen crystal clear. Right? So it's the way of how it goes. Like, you have to understand about how it is, right? Because you think to yourself, oh, well, what's going on and how I can do it and how I can, understand, right? Like, I'm not trying to get emotional. No, I'm not. But in the reading, it almost feels like that because you want everything to happen so bad, but then you feel like there's heartbreak and you're thinking, oh, this is not good, right? So I can understand about how everything is. So it's the way of how you feel. It's the way of how you can, understand about how it's going to go, right? Because this is the left, this is the middle, this is the right. If you look at that, you can see it. Right? Both sides do make sense, but in order to do it, you have to understand that and how you feel. So we're almost done. Just a few more clarifications. So I'm going to see it from the left side to the middle to the right. So I'm going to clarify. This is my left side. The middle is here. And the right is right here. So let's see. The Ten of Cups is upright because you want everything that's happening. See? In order to get this Ten of Cups on the right side, you have the Ten of Cups on the left side. Right? What's in the middle? The Devil is upright because you're being obsessed. Yeah, because you want everything happening. You want that things that are gonna go in that, way of knowing, right? And the Three of Cups reversed. So I'm going to clarify that card. Because this is just how it seems to be, right? Because you need to believe on how it's going to go. So I'm just going to clarify this one. Let's see. So you have the Six of Pentacles reversed because there's no kindness. Yeah, because you're not being kind, right? You're not, right? Because you're having obsession. You're being obsessed, and you want everything that happens all that quick. But then you get to realize to yourself, saying, "Oh well, I need to get this stuff done, right? I need to believe on how my emotions are affecting." Right? Now, I'm going to clarify again of the middle card and the left card. Just let's see on the left side. So you have Three of Cups reversed because no celebrations. Yeah, see? That's how it was. Right? In the middle, you have Nine of Pentacles reversed because there's no comfort. Yeah, because you're being uncomfortable. So I can understand that this is the way of knowing how you can do it, as long as it needs to, right?